Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 19th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We'll talk about the Cardinals and the World Series here in just a couple of seconds. Of course, we have great television archives top of the page, our eye candy feature, which is classic today. I may talk about this eye candy video for half of the Daily Dose today. Anyhow, that's right below, and then our rock and roll poll question over in the corner from yesterday, and basically has to do with the whole parking situation. How would you describe your ongoing battle with your ability to park in downtown St. Louis for major sporting events like the World Series? Number one answer, and a little surprising, 45% of you said it's a drag, but it's part of the deal. It's disgustingly well adjusted. I take Metrolink, number two answer, at almost 30%. Nightmare most of the time, 10%. The rest of the answers were negligible. Who's going to be the Cardinals MVP in the World Series? Is it going to be Albert? Will it be David Freese, Matt Holliday, Chris Carpenter, Lance Berkman, or other? Please answer in the corner. We'll have results for you tomorrow and probably throughout the course of the show on the Big 550 KTRS. Tricia and I will be back at Hooters right across from Keener Plaza. Big pep rally with the Smash Band. 3 until 6 right there at Keener. I will be in the crowd and tweeting at STLJC Corcoran. STLJC Corcoran. I'll be tweeting throughout the course of the game. Of course, these are the coveted World Series tickets. Got a bunch of these. Unfortunately, they are not for you. They're for me. They're not great seats, so trust me, folks, you're better off watching it at home. From where where these seats are, I mean, the game is just a rumor. And then this is the coveted press pass. This is what you try to get a hold of. And I've been going to sit in the Busch Stadium press box and on the road for the away games for close to 27 years right now. I spent a lot of time in Chicago. Never once had the opportunity to see anything like that, but like a World Series. But it's very, very cool, and we're just running around. We're trying to provide you with the best possible coverage, all that sort of cool stuff, and it's a game to be played. I mean, you're racing around all the time. There are just like stacks and stacks of paper, statistics, interview sheets, things put out by both clubs and by Major League Baseball, and it's just an absolute circus when it comes right down to it. And by the way, I take back everything bad I said about Major League Baseball yesterday. And they come into town and they sort of get, they sort of push people around a little bit, and they make it difficult to operate sometimes. But they threw a party last night at Busch Stadium, the Redbird Club. That was the party. And first of all, I walked in there, I was like, you got to be kidding me. There must have been, it had to be between 2,000 and 3,000 people. It's just like they invited everybody they'd ever heard of. And I spent a lot of time talking with, Jerry Berger was there, Joe Abernathy, and Joe Walsh, the two Joes at Busch Stadium. Joe Abernathy, Director of Stadium Operations, and Joe Walsh, Director of Security. Both of those guys very busy. You got the First Lady and the Second Lady coming in, and of course it's the World Series, and they're just, you got to worry about everything. And on top of it, now these Occupy St. Louis people, apparently they've been sending stuff out on social media groups, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, that they may try to stage some sort of demonstration and take advantage of the millions of people who will be watching the World Series on Fox starting tonight. There's everything from storming Busch Stadium to getting somebody in the ballpark and then having a streaker run across the field with their message, which we're still trying to figure out what exactly the message is, from Occupy St. Louis. Talked to John Mozeliak, Mr. Mo as we like to call him, Bill DeWitt Jr., and I told all these people who, it's 3,000 people who work at Busch Stadium in various capacities. All the way, from the guys who just, drag the infield to Bill DeWitt and Dan Farrell, Vice President of the Cardinals, and stuff like that. I told them all exactly the same thing as I ran into them individually last night. I said, it's a long season. It's a very, very long season. It starts in January with the Cardinal, convention thing. And next thing you know, pitchers and catchers are reporting in February. And in March, people start flocking to Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter for spring training. And the next thing you know, the season is started. It's a 6-month season. And now you tack on another month. These people are going to get about, 7 weeks off after the World Series. And it's all going to start up again. I just told them congratulations to everybody. It's a long season, but it is a big, big payoff. And I got a smile from every single person in the Cardinals organization that I said that to last night. It's a big, big payoff. Anyhow, what else we got here? Congratulations to Sam Dotson, who is married to Karen Kelly. Karen Kelly, my best friend for 10 years and also my partner on radio back in the 90s. And her husband, Sam, has elevated himself to director of something operations for the mayor's office. You're seeing him on TV all the time. That's Officer Sam. And we're very, very happy for him. We spent a little time talking last night. And also, one last note here. You'll recall a couple of years ago, and I'll go into detail on this sometime. I just don't feel like doing it now. But there was a big controversy that was stirred up. It was a manufactured controversy involving me and the power company here. And the sort of the subject of that whole thing was the public relations director for Ameren UE, a gentleman by the name of Richard Mark. And I can tell you I've had two subsequent encounters with Richard Mark in the last year or so, and both of them have been incredibly pleasant, including last night where I was introduced to his 21-year-old daughter, 5'11", by the way, and a knockout, and a sweet, smart, polite gal. And I had a nice talk with Richard, and I had a nice talk with her. And, as I said, sometime I'll go into a lot of detail as to just exactly what happened a couple of years ago when I got yanked off the air. They practically tried to run me out of town. And I'll tell you who the real creeps in that situation were, because Richard Mark wasn't, nothing wrong with this guy. He's out there doing his job, not a big fan of the power company. I wouldn't want to have his job trying to get out there and try to put positive spin on some of the things that the power company does. Not my favorite job, not just sometimes you can have a nice person who has a crummy job, and that would be sort of my opinion. But I'm telling you, I've had two very, very pleasant encounters with him, and like I said, his daughter last night, and boy, some of the stuff you were told back then was just pure caca. And I'll tell you one of these days who the punks, who the creeps were in this whole thing. The initials KF figure in prominently. Let's just leave it at that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the game tonight. I, like a lot of people here in St. Louis, don't pay much attention to the American League, so I've really had to pay attention for the last month or two, sort of trying to get ready for all this. And I just have a couple of observations on this whole thing. This Ian Kinsler is a second baseman and leadoff man. You got the speed and stealing ability in the number 2 man, the shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Josh Hamilton, their center fielder, has had a little bit of hamstring trouble. So, if you're on a wet field and it's cold out, it could be a factor, so watch out for that. What else you got here? Michael Young, first baseman, big 2 RBI double in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Adrian Beltre, career .314 hitter with Texas Rangers since he went over there. This guy, Mike Napoli, a catcher in a lot of ways, they're sort of fearless leader. This is the guy who carries the team on his back and could figure prominently in the World Series. Nelson Cruz, I don't have to tell you anything about. 6 home runs, including the walk-off salami in the ALCS. Watch out for this guy in right field. David Murphy, designated hitter. Endy Chavez, the left fielder. Got a good bullpen with this Ogando, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. When the series shifts back over to Dallas, that's going to be interesting because there's a lot of stuff about that ballpark. That ball flies out of that ballpark like you wouldn't believe it, and they are very, very loud in there, and the pitchers' ERAs just go right out the window with playing games there. What else we got here? Oh, and their manager, Ron Washington, very animated guy. He's like the anti-Tony, and so keep an eye on that. Chris Carpenter pretty much put to rest any concerns about his elbow. Yesterday, people were trying to make a big deal out of that, and I never thought it was a very, very big deal. Oh, national anthem tonight. American Idol winner Scotty McCreery. Never fails. World Series comes to St. Louis. All-Star Games comes to St. Louis, and we just get stuck with the crap. I'm telling you. All right, what else we got here? Michelle Obama coming to St. Louis today. Yesterday, and sometimes you would scratch your head and say, how in the hell could something like this ever happen? A truck that carried a bunch of official presidential seals, podiums, teleprompters, all that sort of stuff was stolen yesterday from the Virginia Center Commons Courtyard Marriott. I guess I don't know what they were doing there. The truck stopped for some reason. Thieves saw it and they took off with it. So somebody stole a truck yesterday, maybe not even knowing who was in it, and took off with it. They got all this presidential stuff. Good luck unloading that stuff. So they'll probably just abandon the truck or something like that. But it does make you think twice and go, oh, wait a minute. What could you do with something like that if you decided to keep it or sell it? What, could anybody come up with an idea about how to use presidential podiums and seals and all that stuff for something really no good? I haven't thought of it yet, but it's the sort of stuff that scares the hell out of you. How in the world can something like that happen? They're stealing the presidential podium and teleprompter. When the president was asked for a comment, he was speechless. Okay. Oh, and by the way, for those of you curious, I had my physical this morning, the first one in like 3 years. I walked in there, the doctor said, okay, we need a stool sample, a semen sample, and a urine sample. I said, why don't you just take my underwear? And okay, that's a Brian McKenna joke. Not that he told me the joke, but he'll hear it and he'll love it. So Brian, that one was for you. All right, a lot to do here today. Again, Hooters from noon to 3 along with Trish Gazelle. A lot of baseball cool stuff. And as I said, I'll be tweeting from the ballpark tonight during Game 1 of the World Series from the press box. That's STLJC Corcoran. STLJC Corcoran. Also look for our stuff on the Facebook page, The Showgram with J.C. Corcoran, The Showgram with J.C. Corcoran. Also our website, the radio station, KTRS.com, and of course right here at JCOnTheLine.com. Man, there's a lot going on, and as I always say, we live in exciting times. JC's Eye Candy today. Tony La Russa on the old game show To Tell the Truth back in the 1970s. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And listen to his comment at the very end when they ask him about his law degree. All right, so that's on JC's Eye Candy. It's right below what you're looking at right now. Who's going to be the MVP for the Cardinals in the World Series? Please answer our rock and roll poll question in the corner. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 19th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. Go Cards. See you later. Bye.